So, continuing with this session, myself Dr. Kapil Kumar Mittal, and today in Mechanical Engineering Department, I am going to present today about solar pond. So, in the last few sessions, we have discussed about the renewable energy, its classification, difference between renewable energy and non-renewable energy, different type of renewable energy like we can say biomass energy, solar energy, tidal energy, ocean thermal energy conversion, and magneto-hydrodynamic energy. Then we have discussed about a brief of solar collectors. Means there are different type of solar collectors, that is concentrating type of collectors and non-concentrating type of collectors. These collectors were used as per the application or requirement given by the customer. Then we have discussed about the solar thermal system, and in this solar thermal system, there are different type of solar thermal system based on the requirement and temperature range. These are low temperature, medium temperature, and higher temperature solar thermal system, or we can say these are the different type of plants we are using when we are utilizing the energy of sun effectively. So, and the capacity of the different type of system, different type of power plant is different. Now, in this session we will discuss about the solar pond. Solar pond is again an application of solar energy. In this, what is there? There is a pond is there, and in that pond the sun rays are coming, passing through the pond. The top surface gets heated and thereby they are penetrating the surface of the water, and at the bottom these what we can say, these solar radiations are absorbed by the brine solution. Means brine, that is sodium chloride solution is there, and that is a thick layer of brine is there, and these radiations are absorbed, and that energy, or we can say that hot brine, when taking the energy from the sun, radiations get heated up, and this hot brine is used to transfer the energy to the working fluid or the substance for some useful application. So, in this, the concept of solar pond is based on the observation that some natural lakes have higher temperature at bottom where salt concentration is higher. Means at the bottom salt concentration is higher than the upper surface, and some natural lakes are also there. The heat of hot brine solution from solar pond is used to evaporate the working substance at constant pressure in the boiler. Then we are utilizing this heat for some useful application to convert the water into steam and some useful application at constant pressure. Now, this is a diagram of solar pond. In this, solar radiations, these are the radiations, these are coming from the sun and these are falling. This is the top surface and this is the bottom surface. So top surface and bottom surface, there are two end of this pond. These radiations are coming at this bottom surface, and there is a sodium chloride, that is sodium chloride solution or brine solution is there. There is a thick layer of this brine, and these radiations are absorbed by this sodium chloride solution, and thereby the temperature of this brine rises and it becomes hotter than the layer above it. Now this hot brine is flowing through this path, and there is a heat exchanger is there. This heat exchanger is used to transfer the energy of this hot brine to the working fluid. Here we are using water as a working fluid. So this water takes the energy of hot brine and gets evaporated or converted into steam. Steam is there. This water, this is water is here, and that steam, so water is flowing in this direction, in upward direction. This takes the energy from this hot brine and then converted into steam. It is flowing in this direction, this and this. Now this steam is used to run the turbine, and turbine is used to run the generator for production of electricity. Then again, after this turbine, the pressure of the steam get reduced, and then we are using the condenser to convert the steam into water again at the same temperature and pressure. Here we are using the cooling tower that is circulating here. It takes the energy from the steam, and this is low pressure steam, and then taking the energy from the low pressure steam, and this hot water sent to the cooling tower. Then cooling tower takes the energy, and again the temperature of the hot water get reduced, and this return cold water again sent to this condenser, and therefore the cycle is repeated. After this, pump is here that sent to the water to the heat exchanger. This pump sent to the water here to the heat exchanger. The pressure of the water increases, and again this water takes the energy from hot brine, and this water again converted into steam, and the cycle is repeated. So this way this solar pond works, and it is used to convert, it is basically used for production of electricity or generation of electricity. Now similarly, after this hot brine, when it is transferred the energy to the water, the temperature of this brine get reduced, and this cold brine having temperature T2. So T1 higher, T2 lower. Now what we can do, we can utilize this T2 temperature, this energy of cold brine, for some other applications also, like for generation of electricity. A high amount of energy should be there for water to convert into steam form. So but in this case, after this cold brine that is having lower temperature, we can use this for space heating or some other applications, and then this cold brine is sent to the pond again, and this cold brine takes the energy of sun, and again it gets heated, and this brine again circulated here, transfer the energy through heat exchanger, thereby this process continue. So this is the major application of solar pond. Now again, one is the solar water heater. This is again one of the application of solar energy or solar system, we can say. The solar water heaters are used to raise the temperature of water and store it for various purposes as when needed. Means whenever it is required, we can store the energy of the sun in form of heated water, and for different commercial purposes, domestic purposes, we can utilize this. It consists of the following main components connected with the help of insulated piping. Piping should be insulated. The insulation is there. We can use thermocol or some other component that cover the whole pipe, that cover the whole length of the pipe. Because of when we are providing insulation to the pipe, the energy of the heated water remains constant. The water that takes the energy from to the solar collector absorbs the heat, transfer to the water, and this water having this constant energy, and this energy stored in some bucket or some other area that we can utilize for some other application. So these are the four components: flat plate collector, storage tank, heat exchanger for transferring the energy, and pump for circulating the water throughout the system. This is a diagram of solar water heater. In this we are using this FPC, means flat plate collector, and these are the radiations. These are coming from the sun, falling on the surface, and they takes the energy. After that, the fluid is flowing through this direction. These pipes are insulated, insulation, to reduce the heat losses through this pipe. This is the heat exchanger, and this heat exchanger takes the energy from this pipe, the fluid flowing to this pipe, to the water here. So water is flowing in this direction. Okay, so water gets heated, and this water is flowing to this storage tank. This is the storage tank. So the high temperature water is stored here, and when we require this water for some application, like for bathing, for washing utensils, and for some other purposes, domestic or industrial purposes, we can utilize this water as when required. And after some time, when the temperature of this water get reduced, because insulation is not 100% perfect, some leakages, we can say some heat loss is there, and when the temperature is reduced, this secondary pump is there. This is the secondary pump, and this water is flowing through the secondary pump again in this direction, and this heat exchanger is used to transfer the energy from this working fluid to the water again, and again this water sent to this. There are sensor is there, that thermostat is there, that recognize thermostat. Is there, that is used to maintain the temperature of the storage tank, that as per the requirement, and when the temperature falls below that temperature, the water flows in this direction, pumps transfer through this pump, and takes the energy to maintain the desired temperature of this water, and again sent to this storage tank. So this is about the solar water heater. Next is solar cooling system. The cycle used for cooling with utilization of solar energy is vapor absorption cycle, is used in remote area having scarcity of water, scarcity of power. Means in this what we are doing, we are using the cooling, means like in refrigerator we are using some, means refrigerant is there that is used to cool the cabin of that area, takes the heat from that hot means substances and cool down the whole area. The performance of vapor absorption system depends upon the working fluid pair, that is refrigerant and absorbent. Means absorbent is used to absorb the refrigerant, that is the main working fluid, and there is a loss of energy by some condensation process or that, and that we can utilize again to circulate the that refrigerant in different parts of the system. And we are using generator is there to increase the capacity of that working fluid. The absorption system are classified as ammonia water absorption system, ammonia water hydrogen electrolux absorption system, and lithium bromide water absorption system. So this is the main, we can say, ammonia water absorption system is majorly used in this vapor absorption system. So we will discuss this system in detail. So simple ammonia water absorption system. The most commonly used refrigerant in absorption system is ammonia. It is cheap and readily available and has great affinity with water. Means it is easily absorbed by the water. Is used as absorbent and absorbs ammonia very fast and makes the rich mixture of strong solution of ammonia. The ammonia water absorption system is used for cooling duties up to -50 degrees Celsius. The heat required in generator is supplied by water heated in FPC, that is flat plate collector. So by we are using the flat plate collector that is used to increase the temperature in the generator. Now this is the diagram of this whole solar cooling system, and this what is there, this is FPC, that is flat plate collectors, and radiations are coming from this is FPC, these are falling in this region. Now what is there, absorber is there, ammonia is coming from this in vapor form, vapor ammonia we can say form, it is flowing in this direction, and absorber is there, means water is there, water absorbs the ammonia, and the ammonia, the form of the ammonia converted into liquid form, thereby latent heat of condensation is released and the temperature of this solution is increases, temperature increases. Now cooling water is used to take that heat that is liberated by during condensation and decrease the temperature of this strong ammonia, aqueous ammonia solution. Now here pump is used, this is the pump that is used to transfer this solution to generator, thereby pressure is increases. And when generator is there, what is happening here, that in this generator the energy which is takes by this collector, the temperature of this solution is increasing, and this ammonia is converted into vapor form here, and the weak solution from this region flowing in this downward direction, and here heat exchanger is there. So what is there, this weak solution having some energy, and this energy can be utilized to transfer this aqua ammonia solution to increase the temperature. Now this weak is solution, there is a reducing valve is there and it is transferred to this absorber area. Now after this, when ammonia is converted into vapor form, it is flowing in this direction and there is a condenser. The purpose of condenser is to convert the ammonia into liquid form. So the temperature remains constant, but only the phase will change. We are using cooling tower water. Cooling water takes the energy and convert this ammonia vapor into liquid form. Now there is a receiver, then ammonia liquid is here, then expansion valve is there. The purpose of expansion valve is to reduce the pressure and temperature of this ammonia. Now we are using this. After this, evaporator is there. The purpose of this evaporator is to the temperature and pressure drops and this ammonia takes the energy, that means the effect cooling effective area is there. So takes the energy from that area and convert it into vapor form. So hot brine and this is the chilled brine coming out from this area. So thereby the temperature of the ammonia is increasing and this is the major cooling zone or affecting region. So this way again this evaporated form of ammonia, when takes the energy from this this area, converted into vapor form, again this ammonia sent to this absorbent area and absorber water absorbs this ammonia in and convert this ammonia into liquid form, and thereby this cycle is completed and the fluid is flowing again and again. So this way solar cooling system is working. So this is about the solar cooling system, that is one of the application of solar energy. Next is solar collectors. Now when we are talking about the solar system, their different components, their application. So the different components having different role and they are an important part of that whole solar system. So solar collectors are used to collect the solar energy and convert the incident radiations in thermal energy by absorbing them. Means they collect the solar energy and absorb them and then transfer this energy into some working fluid. This heat is absorbed by flowing fluid in the tube of collector. There are two types of collectors, one is non-concentrating collectors and second is concentrating collectors. Now non-concentrating collectors, in these collectors the area of collector to intercept the solar radiation is equal to the absorber plate and has concentration ratio of 1. Means solar radiations which is falling on the collectors is equal to the absorber plate, same area. Flat plate collectors, these are the most important part of any solar thermal energy system. It is one of the type of the collector. It is simplest in design and absorbs direct and diffuse radiations both and converts it into useful heat. Direct and diffuse radiation means, when we talking about direct radiations means radiations which are coming from the sun. These are directly falls to the affected area or reaches to the surface of the earth or where the application or effect is required. But in diffuse type of radiations, the directions of the radiations changes continuously, and these are the scattered radiations, we can say, means scattered by some obstacles. So both and converts it into useful heat. It is suitable for heating to temperature below 100 degrees Celsius. Means when temperature below than 100 degrees Celsius is required, solar collectors are used.